probably try to sell it to you. And that's why corporations, look, their only business is to probably sell you something, and they're only interested in the quantity as opposed to the quality. So it's not even a quality issue. That's why increasingly your television shows, your movies, your music even, sometimes you get to a point where you got it all, you're getting it all, it's all coming at you, what's up, boom, 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 everything's coming at you, and all of a sudden you're like, with all this shit, I'm still bored. Or you're like, or better yet, they made Americans right now in this state and time so afraid to give an opinion. Like, what do you think about it? Do you like it or do you not like it? It's alright, I guess. So, what's up? Is it good or bad? It's alright. I mean, do you like it or not like it? One or the other. I'm saying though. And the thing about it, to have a conviction, you got to know about something thoroughly. And right now, they have they got this thing going on where you can be a jack of all trades, master of not a goddamn thing. You kind of know about it, and then it gets up into that world of hype and misinformation where you kind of know about it, but enough to just kind of like float a conversation that kind of like doesn't really go nowhere. And then this kind of hurts. And you know what? Corporations, they look at the masses, and they move the M over in the masses and treat everybody like them asses. They just throw it at you, expect you to buy it, support it, whether it's your culture, that they say, you know what, we own the culture. No, a company or a corporation cannot own a culture. The fact is that when you see a company, a record company, which sounds kind of old school, any record company, like people like, hey, Chuck, are you going to go to San Jose State and talk to the kids? They're number 1 to 8 kids. They're over 18, meaning if you're over 18, they will see you ask the war to die in the desert. Remember that. Yep. So you're grown. There's already an older demographic in this country that's 55 and over that don't want to look at themselves as being equal with an 18-year-old vote. So number one, the fear is fear of a young vote. But I'm saying your kid days are over. You're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. The kid days is over. Get the thumb and the little way lollipop out the mouth. And look at yourself at the turning point of the century and the turning point of this country, because you will be the first casualty that this structure, this system will be looking at to take advantage of. And you know what? Seriously. These things are right in front of you, so coming to a school or coming to a college and listening to a person like a Dr. Witherspoon is something you got to figure out, like, okay, what he said about 68 in Mexico and the statue that I walk by every day, and there's only a few of us in here because I'm pretty sure the campus has thousands of students that walk past the statue and say, who the fuck are they? Can't rely on your blogosphere to give you anything, because any asshole can write a type of some on the blogosphere saying his is IG and that is DAT and stuff like that. So beware the whippings of mass distraction, because one of the things that when Barack Obama is running is that the rest of the world is looking at this as being the world's biggest reality show.
Hell yeah.
Everybody is looking at it.
Hell yeah.
It's being the world's biggest reality. I just came from Barcelona. They're like, what is up with Obama? You think he'd be the first black president? London asking the same thing. France, Africa, all through Asia, South America. It's a turning point for America. Okay, you're sitting there and says, what does this mean? It means that you can't avoid the issue that health, housing, economics, prison, military, all these things are figuring right in your lap. And making parallels to 1968, which was a turbulent year that actually was forming as far as my foundation made me come up with a song that was there. They said, oh, Chuck, man, VH1 voted, Public Enemy's Fight the Power as the #1 song. Yeah, because it was a song that actually, it's not about me or wasn't about Public Enemy. It's a song that's relevant to the struggle of people against the odds who are always being kicked down from being equal. Fighting the Power did not come, I didn't make up the title. I was inspired in 1975 as a 15-year-old by the group, the Ozzy Brothers, that many of y'all probably know about, like, oh, my daddy and my mom are like between the sheets, because that's how I was born. between It's Your Thing, because Jamel Alameen, also known as H. Rap Brown, said, you know, you can do your thing, which was an Isaac Hayes R.I.P. record, and It's Your Thing by the Isaac Brothers, and said, you can do your thing as long as your thing is the right thing. And since the culture comes from the people, it should be put back in the people to progress the people, because it's all about the people. Power to the people. The stance that John Carlos and Tommy Smith did in 1968 was a power move to the people. And power to the people, that means you got to fight the powers that be. So when the Isaac Brothers came out with that record in 1975, it was 6 to 7 years after the fact that John Carlos and Tommy Smith made that gigantic step into our hearts and into our minds and into our souls. Excuse me? Yes. Anyway, the fact that before all the marketing came in, black socks were worn to represent poverty. Y'all heard that? Yep. Ah, you heard that. The black scarf was to represent what? Black pride. Also, the beads were for those that were lynched, killed, thrown overboard on the Middle Passage. Matter of fact, John Carlos had his jacket unzipped, his USA jacket unzipped, to represent the blue-collar workers of the United States. So, yes, it was a fight the powers that be, a rage for black power, but a struggle just to say respect us as human beings. Only 3 years after what? Civil rights. The right to respect us as being civilians. Whenever you judge somebody by their characteristics instead of their character, that goes against what Dr. Martin Luther King's main message was about. He wanted his children to be represented by the inside, not the outside. In 1968, in April, he was shot down and killed. He ain't died, he just didn't just have a dream. He was murdered in cold motherfucking blood. Okay? Now, there's a way to make it soft to the people who can't even explain Dr. Martin Luther King. How the hell are they going to explain John Carlos and Tommy Smith in perspective? When we talk about black power, first of all, if you were to study hip-hop and rap music from a corporation, they turn black into a curse word. My man Styles P from the Lox, right? Yep. He said, man, at the second Million Man March, when he was supposed to speak, he said, man, I got a record called I'm Black. Nobody played the record. I said, Styles P, you curse. Easier to say the word nigga. People talk about the N-word. Yeah, you can get rid of the what? The word, can you get rid of the attitude, and can you get rid of the treatment that's been placed on the people? But they said, you know, the corporation that said we can slide the word on through and make it feel like it's love. Because, you know, nigga means the word of love. What's up, my nigga? All the way till you got people all over the planet. Africa, and they be like, yo, what's up, my nigga? You be like, what the fuck is going on with you? But then when you have Sony, the notorious BMG, and all these companies, Warner Brothers, who forgot the Warner Brothers. They put it out there and saying that they can put a complexion on rap music and hip hop. Then almost they could get, you know, culture is the thing that brings human beings together for our similarities and knocks all the differences to the side. But they can bring you culture and at the same time confuse you about yourself and history. And you know what? Seriously, black is a curse word because people are afraid to say it. And you know what? We got the black and the brown that has helped build this country. And matter of fact, want a big piece of it back. Okay?